Hey, this is Todd Brown, and welcome back to another Look Over My Shoulder video update. Now, we're coming down to the wire here. This is one of the last video updates for you because in this video update, which is a pretty deep and stacked video update, I'm going to show you how we set up the email autoresponder, the actual amplification autoresponder sequence inside of Aweber with all the automation, how it gets set up inside of Samcart. And then the most important part of this video is I'm going to walk you through the key messages that make up the different sequences of the amplification autoresponder chain. And so I'm going to show you the different messages in the prospect remarketing sequence and the main customer thank you sequence. I'm just going to break down email by email for you and point out certain copy elements and what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, where I'm doing it, why I'm doing it, and so on. Now, everything that I'm going to show you was explained inside of the six-figure funnel formula training. So if you've got any questions about something that I've done or something that I show you above and beyond my explanation in this video update, definitely go back to the six-figure funnel formula training and I explain it in detail there. Now, what you're looking at right here inside of Aweber is a breakdown of the 8 sequences that make up the amplification autoresponder chain. So the first sequence over here, list 0, is our prospect remarketing sequence. This is the sequence for individuals that opt in and don't immediately take advantage of our customer captivation offer. This is list 1. List 1 is the customer captivation thank you and second chance offer for the reverse add-on. List 2 is the reversed add-on thank you and the second chance for the soft offer. List 3 is the soft offer add-on thank you and second chance for the mid-tier offer. List 4 is the mid-tier thank you and second chance for the thank you page gift offer. List 5 is then the thank you page gift offer thank you sequence. List 6 is the premium offer thank you sequence. This is, as I'm going to talk about later on in this video update, this is when you host a bonus webinar, and on the webinar, which I'm going to talk about, you pitch a back-end product, a higher priced product. And I'll show you what this is in this particular funnel and how it works. This is the thank you sequence for that premium offer. So many of you might start out without having this with any messages in here if you're not rolling with a premium offer. But I still recommend that you set this up inside of Aweber. And then finally, we've got list C, which is the main customer thank you sequence. Now, I want to go back into Samcart for a second. And I want to show you how we begin to set up, or how I set up the different amplification autoresponder automation rules. For some of these sequences, it's extremely easy. Like, for example, for this little chain right here, it's very simple. Whenever there are two automation rules, like subscribe to one list and unsubscribe to another list, this is all able to be done right within inside of Samcart. When there are 3 or more, like you see with these other sequences over here, this is done with a combination of Samcart and the automation rules inside of Aweber, which I will show you. So let's take, for example, this is when somebody purchases the customer captivation offer. So you can see that right here. This is when they purchase that. This is when they purchase the reverse add-on or reverse upsell. This is the soft offer. This is when they purchase the mid-tier. This is when they purchase the thank you page gift offer. And this is when they purchase the premium offer. So in other words, these are the automation rules that should be triggered when somebody takes advantage of this offer. This is the automation rules that that should be triggered when somebody purchases the reverse add-on and so on. So let's take a look at, and I'm not going to go through all of these, but I want to show you, I'll show you the gist. I'll show you some of the more complex ones in just a second. But so let's take a look at what happens when somebody purchases the customer captivation offer. So we go inside of Samcart, and you can see that inside of Samcart, as I've shown you already, we have all of the different products set up. So we've got the main metabolic stimulation system, we've got the the reverse add-on, we've got the soft offer, we've got the mid-tier offer, and then we've got the thank you page gift offer. So if we go to the metabolic stimulation system, which again is our customer captivation offer, what you'll see on the automation rules that I gave you is that what needs to happen is they need to be subscribed to list 1. They need to be subscribed to list C. So list 1 is the thank you, as I explained to you over here. List 1 is the customer captivation thank you, and it's the second chance offer for the reverse add-on. So they need to be subscribed to the excuse me, to the thank you for the customer captivation and second chance. They need to be subscribed to the main customer list. This is for consumption, and you're going to see this when I walk you through all the emails. And they need to be unsubscribed from list 0, which is the prospect remarketing sequence, right? Because they are now a customer, so we don't want them to get any of those follow-ups anymore. So inside of Sam Cart, we're now under the metabolic stimulation system, our main customer captivation offer, and we go over to integration, email integration settings. And so you can see, going right off of this chart that I gave you, they need to be subscribed to list 1 when they purchase this. So right over here, we say under add to list on purchase, they need to be added to list 1. Now, if we go back here, they also need to be subscribed to list C when subscribed to list 1, which I'll show you in just a second. So because they're inside of SamCart, you can only add to 1 and you can only unsubscribe from 1. So when you see that there are 2 that need to be subscribed or 2 that need to be unsubscribed, the second or the third or the fourth one needs to be done inside of Aweber, which I'll show you in a second. So what I mean by that is that this can be done right inside SamCart. Because this is the second subscribe, the second list we need to add them to, this has to be done inside of Aweber. There's only one unsubscribed, so this could be done in SamCart. So you can see that they need to be unsubscribed from list 0. So if we go back to SamCart, you could see that we've got it as remove customer from this list on purchase. So we remove them from list 0. Now, if we go back into Aweber, you could see where I said they need to be subscribed to list C when they are subscribed to list 1. So if we go over to list C and then we click on automation rules, you'll see that we've got, it says subscribe to list C when the subscriber is subscribed to list 1. That is this rule right here. Subscribe to list C when subscribed to list 1. And so you can see what I've done for all of the, like for the reverse add-on. So if we go back into SamCart, when we go over to products, and we know that the MSS Nutritional Toolkit is the reverse add-on, we go over to email integrations. Now you'll look, it says they need to be subscribed to list 2 when they purchase this. So over here, they're subscribing to list 2. And over here, they need to be unsubscribed from list 1 when subscribed to list 2. And so unsubscribe from list 1. So because there are only 2 over here, there's 1 subscribe and 1 unsubscribe, this can all be done right from within inside of SamCart. Now let's take a look at one more. Let's take a look at, let's say, when they purchase the mid-tier, they need to be subscribed to list 4 and then unsubscribed from 1, 2, and 3. So if we go back into SamCart and we go back to products and we go over and we look at the mid-tier offer and we go back to email integration, what you'll see right here is they need to be subscribed to list 4. So we've got that over here. They're subscribed to list 4. And they need to be unsubscribed from list 1. So they're unsubscribed from list 1. Now we still have 2 additional automation rules that we need to put in effect. And because these are 2 additional unsubscribes, like I said, these need to be done inside of Aweber. So if we go back to Aweber and we look at list 2, right? So they need to be unsubscribed from list 2 when subscribed to list 4. So you can see over here that I said under list 2, I added a rule. They need to be unsubscribed from list 2 when they're subscribed to list 4. Right? So when they need to be unsubscribed from list 2 when they're subscribed to list 4. Now they also need to be unsubscribed from list 3 when they're subscribed to this list. So if we go back to list 3, you can see that I did the same thing. They need to be unsubscribed from list 3 when subscribed to list 4. And so that's how you set up these different automation rules. If I walked you through and I went to list 4, you'd be able to see the different automation rules for list 4. If I showed you list 5, there are no nothing on here unsubscribes from list 5, right? So that's why you're not seeing anything in here. But all I'm doing is I'm just following these guys. The first subscribe and the first unsubscribe get done in SAMcart. Any additions, so all the second, third, and fourth, if there are unsubscribes, get done inside of Aweber. This one, of course, right here, automatically happens when they fill out the web form on your traffic captivation page. So when they fill out the traffic captivation page, they automatically get subscribed to list 0. That would happen inside of lead pages or optimized press or whatever else you may be using for your lead capture. Now, with that being said, let me walk you through the email copy, the actual sequences for some of the main sequences in the amplification autoresponder chain. Okay, so the first sequence that we're going to take a look at is the prospect remarketing sequence or the prospect follow-up sequence. And you can see here, this is right from Module 7, Lesson 6. This is the formula that we're going to use for the 7-day follow-up sequence. Again, these are for the individuals that opt in and do not immediately take advantage of your customer captivation offer. And our goal is to send them back to either watch the video again, or finish watching the video so that they can take advantage of the offer. And so I'm going to show you one at a time the different emails, break down the copy for you. You're going to get copies of all of these emails so that you'll be able to see all of them and model them. But let me walk you through this particular sequence so that you can see the copy utilized. So the very first email that we have, the first email, which goes out right away, the subject line says is video, and it simply says how to shed fat fast for your fitness competition. So this is the basic premise of our entire offer, right? Like it's the entire premise behind the offer. We couldn't fit the entire hook into the subject line, so this is kind of a streamlined version of our hook. And and here's what the body says. It says, ready to get into peak condition for a fitness competition? Then you should watch this video presentation right away, because it shares a secret 60-day metabolic stimulation system that cranks up your body's calorie burn so your body sheds fat fast. So what I did was I took the hook, and because it couldn't fit into the subject line, I got the hook right over here. And now I want you to notice a couple things. So there's a question that starts off this email, and you can see that the question has a planted benefit in it, right? So we're talking about getting into peak condition for a fitness competition. And this is kind of like, if then. This is like a very popular formula utilized in lots of successful direct response controls. Like if you're ready to get into peak condition for your fitness competition, then you should watch this video presentation right away. And this blurb right here, you'll see that I use this frequently. Even in the marketing through marketing funnel automation, you should do X. You should watch this. You should click this link. You should go here now. Rather than saying then watch this video presentation right away, I say then you should watch this video presentation right away. Then you've heard me talk about before when I broke down some of the copy for the different VSLs. The word because is one of the most powerful words that you can use in copy because it serves as a proof point. It serves as a reason why. So by starting off this sentence right over here with the word because, what it's doing is it is serving as a proof point for why they should watch the video right away. And so we say because it shares, and then here is where the hook is, and then it simply says watch it here, talk soon, Todd Brown. And then in the PS, I've got what you'll hear on this video presentation is completely different from what most fitness competitors are told to do to try to get into winning contest shape. Now let me break this down a little bit for you. First of all, this is assumptive language. This is not, if you watch the video, what you'll hear. I'm saying what you'll hear on this video presentation. This is presupposing that they're going to watch the video. So what you'll hear on this video presentation, and then I address a objection. It's completely different from everything else. It's saying this is not the same old thing that you've heard before. So, we're overcoming the objection that this is just more of the same. And I use the word over here, it's what most fitness competitors are told to do to try to get into winning contest shape. I didn't say this is what most fitness competitors are told to do to get into winning contest shape, because I don't want to associate getting into winning contest shape with what most fitness competitors are told to do. So I use the word what they're told to do to try to get into winning contest shape, so that it conveys that, the traditional approach is how they attempt to do it. They work at it. They put an effort to try to do it. And then over here, I've got another benefit. You'll hear about a method used to shed fat fast, that actually adds muscle and keeps your physique full and round while it burns off more and more fat each week. So you've got, again, this, if you look at this whole email thus far, you've got, are you ready to get into peak condition for your fitness competition, right? A benefit. It shares a secret 60-day metabolic stimulation system that it cranks up your body's calorie burn so your body sheds fat fast. Another benefit. It sheds fat fast, and now we got more benefit. Actually adds muscle, and another benefit. Keeps your physique full and round, and another benefit, while it burns off more and more fat each week. And then I say it's pretty unbelievable stuff, but all based on proven science. So addressing a little bit of skepticism, also making it more colloquial, right? Like, in other words, friendly, conversational. And so it's all pretty unbelievable stuff, but all based on proven science. Watch the video here. And so that is that is email 1, hook, promise, watch video. Now the second email is the customer transformation story. So let me show you how I do this without actually having a real testimonial, right? Because we're starting off with a brand new funnel, no customer success stories. So the subject line is how she won her first fitness competition. Now you'll notice throughout the majority of these sequences that I use the word fitness or fitness competition or fitness competitor, because when a fitness competitor sees that in a subject line, they immediately recognize that this is for them, right? That this is something that they're interested in, that this is about them, this is for them. And so if I just said how she won her first contest, that doesn't have the same impact as saying how she won her first fitness competition. Just like saying, how he grew his business doesn't have the same impact as, how he grew his online info product business. If you're an info product marketer, for example, and you market primarily online, that's going to immediately stand out as this is for you and this is about you. So I start out by saying you're a fitness competitor or plan on being one, so I think you'll really appreciate this little story. So I get a bit of agreement right here with stating the obvious, and then I say, so I think you'll really appreciate this story. So number one, it opens up this idea that I'm about to tell a story which people have a greater engagement level with, and there's curiosity here, right? Like, I think you'll really appreciate this little story. And by adding in this, and I've talked about this before in the Look Over My Shoulder video updates where I broke down the copy for you, where I softened it up a bit so it seems and feels more colloquial, more conversational, more, down home, right? That's something that a friend would say, like, hey man, I think you're going to appreciate this story, rather than saying you're going to appreciate this story, which can feel a little bit more intrusive and a little bit more in your face. And there's a curiosity factor here. So, well, why will I appreciate this story? And obviously, because this is grouped together like this, because I first said you're a fitness competitor planning on being one, so I think you'll really appreciate this story, it immediately conveys this idea that this is related to you being a fitness competitor. Now I say, let's say it's about a fellow fitness competitor of yours, and let's call her Laura. Now I say, let's say it's about a fellow fitness competitor, and I say, let's call her Laura, so that I'm not implying that this is a true story. If I simply said it's about a fellow fitness competitor of yours, her name is Laura, then that can seem like I'm telling a true story. And so I say, let's say it's about a fellow fitness competitor of yours, and let's call her Laura. Well, maybe is what adds in the fact that I'm not telling a real true story, right? So let's say it's about a fellow fitness competitor of yours, and let's call her Laura. Well, maybe Laura's been working out for years. Let's say close to a decade. And she finally decided she wanted to try her hand at competing in a local figure competition. Now, check this out. I say now, maybe Laura's been working out for years because a lot of women that compete in a fitness competition, they have been working out and exercising for years. That I got from the research that I did at the very early stages of this Look Over My Shoulder sequence, at the very early stages of starting to put together this funnel. And so this is me kind of showing that Laura, the character of this story, the main character, the protagonist of this story, is just like them, right? And so you're going to see how I paint that picture that, she's very similar to them. So maybe Laura's been working out for years, let's say close to a decade, and this should be capitalized. Let's say close to a decade. And she finally decided she wanted to try her hand at competing in a local figure competition. Now, you can also see that, she wanted to try her hand, right? In other words, conversational, right? More, again, colloquial, not formal. But she had one big fear, one big doubt. Now, this is like, another open loop. There's a curiosity factor here. I've got to read on to find out what is her one big fear, what is her one big doubt. Well, she wasn't sure she knew how to get lean enough to compete and win. She wasn't sure she knew enough about dieting for a contest. She almost always ate good, followed a clean diet, and knew about the basics of following a sound nutrition plan, right? This is describing the ideal prospect, right? Because the ideal prospect is a woman, or I should say the typical prospect is a woman who has been working out for years, who's decided she wants to do her first fitness competition. Typically, they know about basic nutrition as it relates to being, to being a regular exerciser. They typically eat good. They typically follow what's called a clean diet in the fitness world, which is just, clean foods, low fat, not fried, not, like a clean diet. And the thing that they don't know, which is why they're coming to our funnel, is they don't know how to eat for competition, right? So, but getting into winning contest shape was something she wasn't sure about. I didn't say she didn't know at all about, or she knew nothing about, because that would exclude some women that have done a little bit of research, have done a little bit of legwork. I say it was something she wasn't sure about, especially since she recognized, like every competitor does, that a contest prep diet is very different from a regular run-of-the-mill diet plan. So why did I include this sentence in here? Especially since she recognized, like every competitor does, that a contest prep diet is very different from a regular run-of-the-mill diet plan, because this conveys that it is an accepted fact. It conveys to the prospect that it's an accepted fact that, look, you might know about the basics of eating. You might know how to eat clean. You might know how to follow a great diet when you're just exercising just for the sheer sake of exercising and getting in shape and maintaining your condition and whatnot. But every fitness competitor recognizes that a contest prep diet is very different from a regular run-of-the-mill diet plan. And then, and since she wanted to do well, even win her first contest, she decided to do some research and see what she could find out about getting into winning contest shape. This is a common experience that a lot of fitness competitors, first-time fitness competitors have. Just like any other area, they're going to do a little research. They're going to go to Google. They're going to maybe look on YouTube. They're going to go to the forums and the websites that they go to typically for fitness information and fitness advice. They're going to look in the magazines to see what they could find out about getting into contest shape. Of course, she came across all the typical fitness dieting information, all the stuff the average competitors see and follow, right? Addressing the fact that there's a ton of information out there, of course, right? I'm not trying to say there's no information out there. I'm addressing the fact that, like, this is the typical fitness dieting stuff. Conveying to them that maybe you found some information, but the odds are that's the typical fitness dieting information, and that what you came across was all the stuff the average competitors see and follow. Now, you're going to see me refer back to the average competitors frequently, right? Because I want to categorize the average competitors that show up and do so-so, that gamble with their condition, their physique, from the smart ones, the savvy ones that follow a proven formula. And you'll see how I do that frequently. I say, but unfortunately, Laura was smart enough to keep looking, right? So this is a way for me to kind of say that the not so smart competitors are the ones that jump at the typical fitness dieting information. The not so smart competitors are the ones that follow all the stuff the average competitors follow. And the ones that look further and look beyond this average stuff are the smart ones, like Laura. Say, then, out of the blue, she stumbled onto a method of getting into winning condition for her contest that stood out to her. It immediately grabbed her attention. It was a method based on science. Now, see how we're incorporating curiosity in here. I didn't say what that method is. I just said that it stood out to her. And we already said that she's smart, right? Stood out to her, and it immediately grabbed her attention because it was a method based on science. And we could probably say immediately grabbed her attention because it was a method based on science, a method that claimed to burn fat while building muscle and maintaining her hard-earned shape and fullness. Benefit in here. It was a method that didn't require starvation. This is what's typically required from the regular diet plans. In fact, just the opposite. It promised to allow her to eat even more food than she was eating now, while burning more and more fat week after week after week. So see how we're incorporating different benefits in here, right? It claimed to burn fat. And I'm able to say, the reason why I said a method that claimed to burn fat, because this seems less biased. Right? If I said it's a method that burned fat while building muscle, then it feels a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more in your face. So I say it's a method that claimed to burn fat, almost conveying like, I have the same skepticism you do. Or Laura had the same skepticism. She recognized that this was just a claim. But benefit, burn fat while building muscle. Another benefit, maintaining her hard-earned shape and fullness. Another benefit, didn't require starvation. In fact, just the opposite. It promised to, what? Another benefit. Allow her to eat even more food than she was eating now. Another benefit, while burning more and more fat week after week. She immediately decided this was the plan for her, so she followed it for just about 60 days leading up to her first figure competition, and the transformation astounded her. What happened at the contest for Laura? Well, let me just fast forward and tell you this. Today, Laura has a new shelf in her house dedicated to displaying her reward for showing up in incredible contest condition. So rather than saying like she won and blah, 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 I just felt like that was kind of pushing the limit with a made up tale, if you will, an example story. So I just said, well, let me just fast forward and say today Laura has a new shelf. This is also, right, future pacing. This is also painting a picture. You can picture this in your mind's eye. You can feel the pride that Laura has. You can imagine in your mind the people asking her, like, well, what's that trophy for? What's that medal for up there on your mantle? And so then I say, well, what was the secret to her success? What was the plan she followed? You might be wondering. Well, go here to find out. And then I finish by saying, P.S. I'm sure if we could ask Laura how it feels to show up at your first figure competition in great shape, confident, lean, round, and shapely, and impress the heck out of the judges as well as the audience, I'm sure she'd say it's an incredible feeling of accomplishment and pride. Now it's your turn if you're up for it. Go here to get the details on the contest prep plan that can do it for you. Right? And so over here, we're bringing in the deeper benefit, the deeper benefits, right? That how it feels. Now up here we talked about the benefits, like the superficial benefits, getting lean, burning fat week after week, maintaining your muscle, not having to starve, being able to eat more food. Now we get into the deeper benefits, right? And rather than come out and say simply explicitly, you'll show up feeling great, confident, lean, round, shapely, you'll have a feeling of accomplishment and pride. We're able to convey that those are also the benefits within the context of story. So right, I'm able to say it within this context of this story about Laura. I'm sure if we could ask Laura how it feels to show up at your first figure competition in great shape, confident, lean, round, shapely, all the things that they want, and then this deeper benefit, impress the heck out of the judges as well as the audience, I'm sure she'd say it's an incredible feeling of accomplishment and pride, right? Now it's your turn. If you're up for it, go here. And so that is email number 2, the customer transformation story number 1. Now let's go into the third email, problem, agitate, solve. So the subject line is, what did this fitness competitor do wrong? Right? So there's a curiosity factor there, right? The fact that we've got fitness competitor in there stands out, and do wrong. So we know that it's going to address a problem. And then the body copy starts by saying, there's nothing worse than dieting for a fitness contest for 2 to 3 months only to show up come contest day looking small, flat, and soft. We're getting agreement up front. We're getting agreement up front about something that we know they do not want to experience. Then I say, sadly, this happens to more competitors than you would believe, even to competitors who are already in pretty good condition when they first start their pre-contest diet plan. This is addressing a possible objection that, well, that's not going to happen to me because I'm not flat now. I don't look small now. I'm not, soft now. I look pretty good now. So any pre-contest diet is going to make me look better. So I address that objection right here by saying that this happens even to competitors who are already in pretty good condition when they first start their pre-contest diet plan. The problem, right? The problem is they follow the typical average fitness diet plan that's inadequate for most and causes their metabolism to slow down, eats away at some of their muscle, and leaves them looking depleted come contest day. So the problem, and then agitating the problem, right? And reinforcing, all this together with these first 3 paragraphs. Then I say, ugh. Fortunately, now we're going on to the solution. There's an alternative method that does just the opposite. It stimulates the metabolism while growing new muscle, keeping you full, firm, and round while burning more and more fat every week. The main benefit. This should be the same secret plan the smartest fitness competitors use. Again, smart. And now you can too. Just go here to watch a special video presentation that explains the whole thing, sending them back to the customer captivation offer video. P.S. You already know that if, as a fitness competitor, you do what the average does, you will get what the average gets. See how I start off by saying you already know that blah, blah, blah. That becomes accepted as a fact. You already know that X. Top fitness competitors already know this, right? Every top fitness competitor knows that when you say this type of phrase, whatever you say after that is typically accepted as a fact, right? So you already know that if as a fitness competitor you do what the average does, you'll get what the average gets. And if you're reading this, I know that's not what you want. If you want to stand out on the stage by being in extraordinary condition, do what the extraordinary fitness competitors do. Click here to find out how, right? So creating this, again, this differentiation between, you've got over here, you've got the average, over here, you've got the extraordinary. You can do what the average does and get the average results, or you can do what the extraordinary do and get extraordinary results. You choose. Associating the metabolic stimulation system with what the extraordinary fitness competitors do. And so that is email 3. Email 4 is where we roll with a big benefit. And so if we look at email 4 over here, oops, let me move this up. You'll see that the subject line says fitness competitors, and there it is again, how to burn fat while building muscle. This is the main benefit, the big benefit that I'm going to talk about in here. This is also a benefit that is never discussed come pre-contest dieting for them because it's really contradictory to what most people are taught. Most people are taught, most fitness competitors or most of the competing products out there are teaching that you've just got to hold on to or try to hold on to whatever muscle it is that you have come contest prep. So this is how to burn fat while building muscle. So here's the body. When most fitness competitors follow a traditional pre-contest diet plan, they sacrifice muscle while trying to get lean because, right? Proof. Because the traditional contest diet plans put your body into a negative calorie balance in an attempt to burn fat. And yes, this can work, but it works while burning both fat and muscle. So see, I address a possible objection. I address a possible objection that, if they say, well, I've seen tons of people use this type of diet and it absolutely works to get you lean. And so I say, yes, this can work to get you lean, but it works while burning both fat and muscle. The end result is these average, there it is again, average fitness competitors that follow the traditional pre-contest diet plan. So see, this is the category that I don't want them to associate themselves with. I want them to not want to be associated with this group. The average fitness competitors that follow the traditional pre-contest diet plans do get leaner, but they appear smaller come contest day, have a slower metabolism, and have less muscle on their frame than they did before the diet, and often have a soft appearance come contest day. And so this is like a picture that they absolutely do not want to be associated with. Now, I immediately switch gears and I say the metabolic stimulation system prevents all of this from happening to you while still getting you into incredible contest condition. It works because it stimulates your metabolism in a way that allows you to eat more and more food while burning more and more fat from your body every week. Now, check this out. I want you to see the way this sentence was written. First of all, this is the benefit, right? Allows you to eat more and more food while burning more and more fat from your body every week. The sentence, the first part of the sentence, it works because that is a presupposition. It presupposes that it works, right? Like, in other words, in order to even accept this statement, like, right, I'm saying it works because I'm in essence saying, here's how it works, right? And in order to even absorb this, okay, so let me understand how it works. You first have to accept that it works. So it works because is a presuppositional statement. And so the beauty is that it gets them, by consuming these benefits in their mind, they have to first accept that it works. And then I go on, you see the use of the word because, you'll see it because, all these, proof. And because of that, now it does this. So we're saying that, and because it does all of this, because it stimulates your metabolism in a way that allows you to eat more and more food while burning more and more fat from your body every week, because of that, it maintains your muscle, even builds a little bit more, and maintains your shape and fullness leading all the way up to your contest. Contrasting this against what I set up here, what the average fitness competitors get. So the end result, look at how this is stacking benefit on top of benefit, right? It stimulates your metabolism. So you eat more and more food. You burn more and more fat every week so that it maintains your muscle, even builds more muscle. It maintains your shape and fullness, leading all the way up to the contest. So the end result for you is that by following the metabolic stimulation system, now associating all this with the metabolic stimulation system, another benefit, you get extremely lean, maintain all of your muscle, and show up to your contest in peak condition. And it works in just 60 days. To get the details on the metabolic stimulation system, go here now. Enjoy, Todd. P.S. There's no need to follow a pre-contest diet plan that leaves you looking thin and doesn't even guarantee you get lean enough to win your contest. Instead, let the metabolic stimulation system strip fat off you every week while feeding your muscle and stimulating your metabolism so you show up looking incredible and standing out on stage. Go here now, right? So we're saying the same benefits, but we're saying them differently, right? Feeding your muscles, another way of saying maintaining your muscle, right? Instead of saying burning fat every week, we say strip fat, or burning fat, we say strip fat, or losing fat, strip fat, right? It's another way of saying the same thing, but we're saying it differently. Repetition, as I talked to you about in the Look Over My Shoulder video updates for the VSL copy. The other thing is that, right, another standing out on stage is an additional benefit, right? It's a deeper benefit. Instead, let the metabolic stimulation system strip fat off you every week. And the last thing that I want to point out is, notice how this is worded, where it feels like, and it conveys that it's the metabolic stimulation system that is doing the work. Instead, it's kind of like saying, instead, just sit back and let the metabolic stimulation system get you in shape. Let the metabolic stimulation system strip fat off your body. Let the metabolic stimulation system feed your muscle. Let the metabolic stimulation system stimulate your metabolism. Let the metabolic stimulation go to work so you show up looking incredible and standing out on stage, conveying that it's the metabolic stimulation system that is doing all of the work. And so that's email 4, the big benefit. Now, email 5 is another big benefit. Read if you're going to compete as a fitness competitor, right? So again, curiosity in here, and this is for you. Ask any fitness competitor and they'll tell you, that should be that. Let me save that. Dieting the traditional way for a fitness competition can be brutal. So here, stated as if it was a fact. Ask any fitness competitor and they'll tell you. So this comes across as a fact, something that's already agreed upon by fitness competitors, that it can be brutal. How so? Walking around hungry, feeling tired all the time, losing strength. Let me move this up. Losing strength, seeing your muscles flatten out, and often looking worse before you hopefully look better. Associating all of this over here with the traditional diet plan, right? Dieting the traditional way. So you're going to see how, again, I contrast this experience against the experience of using the metabolic stimulation system. And I say, right, and often looking worse before you hopefully look better, because there's no guarantee. You might go through all this, walk around hungry, be tired all the time, lose strength, see your muscles flatten out, look worse, and then hope that you eventually look better. But this is the complete opposite experience of the fitness competitors who follow the metabolic stimulation system. Instead of walking around hungry, they get to eat more food than they were eating before they started preparing for their contest. Instead of feeling tired all the time, they have tons of energy. Instead of losing strength, they are. This is why you always do a second pass on all your email copy. They're actually gaining strength leading up to their contest, often being stronger than ever before. Instead of seeing their muscles flatten out, they're seeing more muscle, more fullness, and more shape. And instead of looking worse throughout their contest prep, every week they're getting leaner and leaner without ever getting flat or soft like the average competitors do. Total contrast of one experience to the other. So which experience would you rather have? Yeah, I thought you'd say that with a smiley face. Again, colloquial, conversational. So why not go here and get all the details on using the metabolic stimulation system to prepare for your contest? It truly is the way to get into great contest shape without experiencing all those harsh side effects of the typical pre-contest diet plans, right? It's the way to get into contest shape, and of course without. Another typical formula. How to do X without Y. P.S. How does the metabolic stimulation system work so fast to burn fat from your body if it doesn't require you to walk around hungry or deprive yourself? So look, another presupposition. This stated in the form of a question, right? How does the metabolic stimulation work so fast to burn fat from your body? Right? In order to even contemplate the answer to this, the prospect has to accept that the metabolic stimulation system works fast to burn fat from your body. In order to even think about, how does it burn fat so fast if you don't have to deprive yourself or walk around hungry? It also implies, right, that, like I already stated above, that it doesn't require you. I'm able to restate this benefit again, that it doesn't require you to walk around hungry or deprive yourself in the context of a question. Well, because, there's that word again, because it leverages a physiological system within your body that forces your body to use fat for fuel, even in the presence of ample calories and nutrients. So this is a proof point. It's a proof point for this. It's proving how is that even possible. How is it possible, and why does it work, and how does it work? Well, this is why. Because it leverages a physiological system within your body. So the end result, this is kind of like saying, how does it work? Here's how it works. And so what that means for you is, this is the benefit. Like, this is really, if anything, this is a feature, if you will. This is a feature. This is the benefit of the feature. So the end result is that you get to continue eating a nice quantity of food while still forcing your body to dump more and more body fat every week. See how I said now, dump, another word, right? Repetition without saying the same thing. Dump more and more body fat every week. It's pretty astounding, but hey, it's science. Go here to learn more. And so that is email number 5, another big benefit. Email 6, the subject line says, do you want this for your fitness competition? So this is a big curiosity factor, right? Like, they got to open this up to even to know what this is even about. So I say, the body copy says, getting into incredible contest shape, making heads turn, judges, competitors, and people in the audience, and walking away with a first place trophy and the pride of being number 1. That's what most fitness competitors want. So this is kind of like painting a picture of the experience that they want. That's what most fitness competitors want. It's what you want, isn't it? I believe you do. And that's why I've been so relentless addressing the fact that I've been emailing them, right, over the last handful of days. I believe you do, and that's why I've been so relentless, with telling you about the metabolic stimulation system over the last few days. Because, right, again, there's the word, because it's the only pre-contest plan I've seen that has the power to get you into incredible contest shape in just 60 days while maintaining all of your muscle, stimulating metabolism, and ensuring you stay full, round, and shapely, right? So introducing this factor in just 60 days. And that's exactly why, and that's why it's the same contest prep approach followed by many of the smartest and most successful fitness competitors out there. Now, I didn't say it's the same plan. I said it's the same contest prep approach, right? Because I'm not going to lie and say that this is the same plan, but I say this is the same contest prep approach followed by many of the smartest and most successful fitness competitors out there, right? And so we're able to say it's the same plan, that the same approach used by these smart and successful fitness competitors, but put it in the context of this statement and say, and that's exactly why. Now it's your chance. Go here to get all the details on the metabolic stimulation system and experience how it gets you into incredible winning shape in the next 60 days. I didn't say an experience how it can get you into incredible shape. I just said experience how it gets you into incredible winning shape. Again, conveying that it's the metabolic stimulation system that does the work. It's the metabolic stimulation system that gets you into incredible winning contest shape. And so that is that's email 6, the customer transformation story number 2. And that was kind of a version of a story, right? We're just really painting a picture or kind of painting an outcome, the story outcome. In an ideal world, we would move to having a story about an actual fitness competitor that used the metabolic stimulation system. But that's down the road once we get them. And the final email, frankly, I'm puzzled, works like this. I just said in the subject line, I'm shocked. And then the email starts out, I'm totally puzzled, right? It's been about 7 days or so since you requested access to the video presentation about the metabolic stimulation system, and you haven't grabbed your copy yet, right? Grabbed your copy. I didn't say bought it. I didn't say ordered it. I kept it real conversational. I've got to believe it's because one of the following 3 reasons. Reason 1, you still think a traditional contest prep diet plan is the way to go for you. And then I answer it. I give 3 reasons and answer each. Yes, the traditional contest prep diet plans can work, right? So I'm agreeing with them because I can't disagree, because the reality is lots and lots of people follow that type of plan, and lots of people do get into contest shape. So I have to... if I say no, they don't work, then I lose all credibility. So I say, yes, the traditional contest prep diet plans can work, but they work to get you leaner while sacrificing metabolic rate, muscle size, and fullness, and often overall shape. The metabolic stimulation system, on the other hand, works to strip fat off your body while maintaining your muscle, maintaining your fullness, and maintaining your shape. Not to mention... MSS works while stimulating your metabolism, making you more and more efficient at burning fat and building muscle. And it does it all while you're able to eat more food than you eat now. And so you see how for each of these, you're going to see how I deal with the objection and overcome it. Reason 2, you don't fully understand how the metabolic stimulation system works so well and so fast to get you in a winning contest shape, right? See, again, this is how the metabolic stimulation system works so well, right? Like, this is a presupposition. It presupposes, again, that the metabolic stimulation system works so well and so fast to get you into winning contest shape. That's what the subconscious mind of the prospect hears. That's what they have to process. They have to process this in order to fully digest my response. I say, well, the metabolic stimulation system works so well and so fast to get you into contest shape because... another presupposition or another presuppositional statement, because of how it leverages a specific metabolic system in your body. It actually forces your body to strip more and more fat off of your body by making your metabolism faster and faster and adding more and more muscle to your frame each week. It's science. It may seem a little bit complicated, but the results speak for themselves. You'll see, assuming that they're going to buy. Reason 3, you don't believe it's guaranteed to work for you, right? It's fully guaranteed to get you into the best shape of your life, winning contest shape, or it's free. Just put it to the test. Now I'm kind of restating a form of the guarantee that I gave in the VSL. Just put it to the test. And if you're not thrilled with the winning contest condition it gets you into, right? So it even says, like, if you're not thrilled with the winning contest shape it gets you into, simply let me know and I'll refund every penny of your money. I certainly wouldn't put a guarantee like that on it if I didn't know exactly how it will transform your body over the next 60 days. See the little nuance in here, right? I wouldn't put a guarantee on it like that if I didn't know exactly how it will transform your body over the next days. If I didn't know how it will transform your body over the next 60 days. Then I go on to say, don't gamble with your results while getting ready for your fitness contest. There's absolutely no reason to gamble when you can try the metabolic stimulation system for the next 60 days. And if it doesn't get you into incredible head-turning contest conditions, see another, right? Saying it differently. It won't cost you a dime. Another way of saying I'll refund every penny of your money back. Another way of saying it is totally free. Repetition, just saying it differently. So go here and grab your copy. Enjoy, Todd. And then I say, P.S. How many of the so-called fitness experts are as confident in the results their programs will give you to give you the chance to try the entire program risk-free? How many guarantee their program will get you into winning contest shape or give it to you for free? None I know of, except the metabolic stimulation system. Grab your copy now. And so that is the final email in the prospect remarketing sequence. Now let's go on to another sequence so I could show you the emails in the next sequence. Okay, so the next sequence we'll take a peek at is the main customer thank you sequence. This is list C. And so you can see here the follow-up sequence. You can see day 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can see how this sequence is laid out. And so let's just go through these different emails. So in this first email, you could see the subject line is welcome to the metabolic stimulation system tribe. And then I say, hey, now we're able to use the first name because we got the first name with their order. And I said, welcome to the Metabolic Stimulation System Tribe, and congratulations on joining a group of serious and successful fitness competitors. You now have in your hands, metaphorically, an extremely effective and powerful system for getting pro-level lean and into winning contest shape in the next 11 weeks. And now your adventure and transformation begins. I highly recommend you dive in and begin going through the main Metabolic Stimulation System training video and manual. As you do, you will most likely want to jot down some notes and action points because what you'll hear will be eye-opening at multiple points throughout the program. Remember, this is a proven scientific method for shedding body fat while maintaining and even building muscle. So there's a lot to cover. But here's my promise to you. By the end of this training, you'll know everything you need to know to get into winning contest shape, the best shape of your life within just 11 weeks. I guarantee it. So for now, get to it. And I'll talk to you in a day or so with some specific tips. I want to make sure you grasp, utilize, and benefit from. Talk soon, Todd. And so very simple, kind of reselling them, getting them excited about what they're now part of. And so let me show you the first consumption email. I'll go through these really quick. What you'll see is that these consumption emails are all on a different topic that I'm going to tease that they're going to learn more about inside the product, that they would learn more about in the product. So for example, in our first consumption email, the subject line says the MSS meal frequency formula. This is key. And I say, hey, first name, one of the most important components. Now you'll see in here that I'm selling them on wanting to know this MSS meal frequency formula. I'm selling them on the value of it and learning it and utilizing it so that there's value, right? So they see value, so that they consume the product, so that they dig in. So one of the most important components of the metabolic stimulation system is the meal frequency formula. It's one of the pieces of the entire metabolic stimulation system that is responsible for jacking up your metabolism and forcing your body to burn more and more fat every day. See how we're constantly giving benefits, constantly telling them what's in it for them. The other thing that I want you to notice is that, and this is obviously made up for this particular product, but see how I incorporated another proprietary name, the meal frequency formula, and labeled it as MFF, right? We've got a lot of MFF, MSS, but the meal frequency formula. So it's proprietary. It's unique to this product, and it piques curiosity because they need to dig in to know what this is. I didn't just say, what is the right frequency of meals to consume, because that's a very generic topic. They could go learn more about that by Googling it. But the meal frequency formula, it's proprietary to this product and benefit, right? It's pretty straightforward in how and why it works, but I want to make sure you take the time to go through that section, paying extra special attention to the details so you experience firsthand its fat-burning benefits. You'll find the entire discussion and details of the meal frequency formula at minute, whatever it would be in the training video, of the main training video and on page whatever of the training manual. So while you're going through the metabolic stimulation system training, keep your eyes especially out for that info. Talk soon. That's an example of a simple consumption email. You'll find another similar one over here. This is the next one, right? This is the perfect amount of protein for you as a fitness competitor. I say, so the other day I emailed you about one of the most important components of the metabolic stimulation system, the meal frequency formula. Today I want to make you aware of an even more important component, the perfect protein consumption. Then I sell them on, why they need to know this. Protein is the building block of all muscle. It's the foundation of every great pre-contest nutritional plan. Not enough protein from the right sources in the right per serving quantities, and your body and physique will be starved of the macronutrient it needs most to flourish. And the end result is almost always a loss of muscle, a slower metabolism, and a flatter looking physique. Fortunately, on page XX of the metabolic stimulation system manual and at minute XX of the training video, you'll learn how to calculate what I call your own perfect protein consumption. This is the perfect amount of protein your specific body and physique needs each day, the perfect amount of protein to consume per meal, and the perfect types of protein sources to use at each meal. And it's this information that will ensure you not only maintain all of your hard-earned muscle tissue, but that you also put your body in a metabolic state to add new muscle and maintain your shape, size, and fullness. Right? See, bringing it all home, all of this, all home with the benefit. What's the benefit of even learning this perfect protein consumption? And all this information is right here. Then I say, so again, be sure to keep your eyes open for the information on your perfect protein consumption. And then we've got the third consumption email is a different topic. Carbohydrate manipulation for greater fat burning. And then I say, I want you to really pay extra attention to this inside your metabolic stimulation system training. It's a technique called carbohydrate manipulation. And what it will do for you, immediately going into a benefit. And what it will do for you is ensure your metabolism keeps churning away. See how we said we're saying it a little differently? Your metabolism keeps churning away. Instead of your metabolism keeps, going quickly, or you maintain a quick metabolism, or your metabolism gets faster. This is another way to say it. And your body continues to burn more and more fat every week, even into the final weeks of your contest prep. As most average, there it is again, fitness competitors, not you, continue on their traditional contest prep diet, their bodies tend to adjust to the lower level of calories, and the result is their body sort of peaks in terms of how much fat and how many calories it burns each day. With what you'll learn about carbohydrate manipulation on page XX of your training manual and XX minute of your video, your body will never adjust to any one calorie or carbohydrate level. And the end result for you, your body will continue to burn more and more fat every day, and even increase the amount of calories and fat your body burns each day as you go deeper and deeper into your contest prep. Right? Contrast. What they experience, their body peaks, your body continues to burn more and more fat. This way, now adding another layer of benefit, this way your body becomes even more efficient. Your body becomes an even more efficient fat-burning machine as you get closer and closer to your contest. Pretty cool, right? Conversational. Well, it's all laid out for you inside your metabolic stimulation system training, so be sure you pay close attention to that part. Talk soon, Todd Brown. And then I say, tomorrow, I have a special surprise for you. It's a little unadvertised bonus. It's a little something extra to help ensure you show up at your contest in head-turning condition. Another way of saying peak condition, best condition, great condition. I'm talking about being so lean, so shapely, and so sharp that you'll have judges and fans coming up to you after the show hoping to find out your secret. Seriously, just keep your eye out. Just keep an eye out in your email, in your inbox for that email. And I would say tomorrow. And so that is the third consumption email that goes out on day 6. Now the next one is where we actually announce the unadvertised bonus. This is where we are announcing now the extra webinar. So the subject line says unadvertised bonus goodie for MSS fitness competitors. Hey, first name. All right, so today I have something special for you. Restating that, it's a little unadvertised bonus, showing them I'm giving them an unadvertised bonus for you as my way of saying thank you again, and as my way of over-delivering even more value. So I'm showing them, I'm explicitly saying that I'm over-delivering value, and I'm saying even more value to you. right? Like, which implies that I've already over-delivered value, but now I'm over-delivering even more value to you. It's a special web training boot camp called, now I named it Web Training Boot Camp instead of webinar because, you know, the word training is what a lot of fitness competitors use when they refer to their exercise routine. Boot camp is kind of, it seems like, you know, it's tough. And webinar might not be a term that they know or understand. And so it's a special web training boot camp called Contest Prep Secrets of the Most Successful Fitness Competitors. And what you'll hear on this special web training bootcamp are 7 key tweaks and tricks that will give your physique the refinement, polish, and detail the judges look for when awarding a competitor with a first place prize. These are 7 things you can easily do as you're using the metabolic stimulation system to get super lean for your contest. And the whole thing is completely free for you. To register your spot for the upcoming web training bootcamp, go here. Then be sure to put the date and time in your calendar so you remember this is one web training you do not want to miss. Trust me. That's all for now. Talk to you on the bootcamp. P.S. There will not be a recording of this web training bootcamp, so be sure you register, set time on your calendar, and get on there with me when it happens. I didn't say get on there live, right? Because if we're using an evergreen, I don't want to lie. But get on there with me when it happens. The 7 tweaks and tricks you'll hear just may be the thing that gives your physique that professional look every fitness competitor craves. You can register here. Now, let me say something here from a strategic perspective. So this is a webinar that is a free bonus for people that purchase the metabolic stimulation system. And this webinar would be designed to sell them on a coaching program to help them with the implementation and execution of the metabolic stimulation system, to actually coach them when they're getting ready for their contest. And so the 7 key tweaks and tricks that I would share on that webinar would all be related to identifying when a competitor needs to make certain tweaks to their calorie consumption, their carbohydrate consumption, their water consumption, their salt consumption, their recovery, etc. And so the beauty is that by sharing, 7 different tweaks and tricks as it relates to like adjusting your salt at the right time, right? It would allow me to talk about, like, all right, when I see that a competitor is, holding water, or when I see that a competitor is looking, they flattened out because they've depleted their carbohydrates, or something like that, I would have them make an adjustment, and the adjustment would do X, right? So at the end, it would allow me to then segue into an offer where I say, now, if you'd like me to be there for you, right at your side, and give you that kind of feedback, identify when your body needs to make those tweaks at the right time throughout your contest prep so you perfectly peak, let me tell you about something called the XYZ coaching program. And that would then allow me to make that premium offer. And so that's what this webinar would be designed to do. Now then, we've got 2 different reminders. And so the first reminder says, inside, important reminder for their first name. Hey, just a reminder, in 2 short days from now is your unadvertised bonus web training, the name of it. If you haven't registered yet, you should do that right now. Just go here. What you'll hear, and I restate the same thing, and best of all, these are 7 things that you can easily do. Remember, it's free to register, since this is my way of overing deliver value. You can register here, talk to you on the bootcamp. And the final reminder, and we probably have one more reminder that goes out when we're starting, or an hour before we're starting, but this is the day before. It's happening tomorrow, Todd. Don't miss it. Or, first name. Hey, first name. So it's finally here. Tomorrow is your unadvertised bonus web training. This is the final call for registration. So if you haven't registered yet, go here now. What you'll hear, same thing. These are the exact steps that give your physique that polished, sharp, pro look when standing on stage at your contest. So be sure to register. Talk to you tomorrow on the boot camp. And that is this sequence. Now let's go on to I'm going to show you one more sequence. I'll show you one of the second chance offer sequences. Since they're all really similar or modeled after each other, I'll show you one sequence and show you how that's laid out. Okay, so let's take a look at the at list 1, right? This is the really, if you will, the customer captivation thank you sequence, or really it's the thank you message with the second chance sequence for the reverse add-on. And so you could see this is the format. These are typically, mini sequences. This is 3 days. So immediately what happens is they get, here's how to access your purchase. And then the next day they get this, about your purchase with a mention of the second chance. And then finally they get another reminder about the second chance. So let's take a look at one of these emails. And so the very first email that goes out, this is what we would call your thank you email, or here's your access. It says inside your metabolic stimulation system. And it says, hey, first name, congratulations on your decision to use the metabolic stimulation system to get into winning contest shape for your next fitness contest. See how this is an implied outcome? It's almost implied that this is the result that you get from this. And you could see that, we're reselling them again on their purchase, right? You'll find that grabbing your copy of the metabolic stimulation system is one of the smartest things you've done as a serious fitness competitor. For now, to get started, simply go here to register your account for the private training area. This would be a link to the registration page. If you were using something like Wishlist Member, you would send them to the registration page. If you were using the free method that I talk about inside of the Six-Figure Funnel Training Program, where it is a password protected site, you would have the link there with the password underneath. But here we're giving them access. Then I say once you complete your registration, you'll be given instant access to all the training materials and bonuses. If you have any questions or problems accessing the metabolic stimulation system, feel free to hit reply to this email and let me know. I'm here for you in whatever way I can be. This is just a nice thing to say, right? It's like making sure that they understand you're being a human being. You're not just like a company that's all business. I say, and I'm excited to hear about your transformation as you use the metabolic stimulation system to get into incredible contest shape. So go to it, talk soon. That is email 1. That is the access email. Now, email 2, let me show you, is where the subject line is just checking in. This should actually be lowercase. It's Todd. So that this makes it look like it's more informal, that it's almost makes it look like a personal email. And then I say, hey, first name, I'm reaching out for 2 reasons. First, I just wanted to check in and make sure you were able to access your metabolic stimulation system. If you had any problems, please hit reply to this email and let me know. Again, I'm here for you. Second, I noticed that yesterday when you grabbed your copy of the metabolic stimulation system, you didn't add the metabolic stimulation system nutritional toolkit to your order. Not a big deal. I know ordering any new product can be nerve-wracking, and if you're at all like me, you just wanted to get in and get cracking on your metabolic stimulation system. So I figured I'd give you another opportunity to grab the entire metabolic stimulation nutritional toolkit at the same special deal price I mentioned the other day. I guess you could call this your second chance. You can grab the entire nutritional toolkit here. Remember, the MSS nutritional toolkit makes it super easy for you to implement and benefit from the metabolic stimulation system. So if you now want it, it's my pleasure to give you the opportunity to grab it with this special second chance opportunity. Just go here, right? A very soft way. First of all, showing them look, if you passed up on it, not a big deal. Totally don't blame you. Totally normal. Totally acceptable. It's something I've done before. I totally get it. But now I want to give you an opportunity to grab it. I say at the same special deal price, conveying that there was special opportunity. And you can see how I use words like grab, you didn't grab it. I use nerve-wracking, right? Very, very conversational tone. I give the benefit of why they should even consider it. And then over here, this seems like, right, this makes it feel like you're doing them a favor, like you're doing them a solid, right? Like, if you want it, well, it's my pleasure to give it to you. It positions it as something like, you're doing me a favor too. I'm doing you a favor by giving you this second chance opportunity. And so that's the second email. And then the third and final email, it looks like this. And the subject line says, grab your metabolic stimulation system nutritional toolkit. Hey, name, just a quick reminder, if you'd like an easy way to implement the metabolic stimulation system, you still have the time, conveying a little scarcity, to add a copy of the MSS nutritional toolkit to your order. I guess you can call this your second chance. To grab a copy of the toolkit, including the boom, all the features, just go here now. and this, of course, would be hyperlinked. Then I say bringing in scarcity and urgency. Remember, this toolkit is not available or for sale anywhere else. It's usually only offered when fitness competitors first grab their copy of the metabolic stimulation system. But since you may have accidentally skipped adding it to your order the first time around, I wanted to give you the second chance opportunity to grab it, and that would be grab it now. Oops. So to get your copy of the MSS Nutritional Toolkit, just go here. Talk soon. Then the final bit of scarcity. Because this is a second chance opportunity to get the MSS Toolkit at a special deal price, all I ask is that you grab it before the opportunity expires tomorrow night. Again, you can get it here. Now, there's lots of different ways that you can make this expire. Like if you say it's going to expire, then make it expire. We use, when we set up pages with Optimize Press, we use, there's a couple of plugins. We use Scarcity Builder. You can also use Page Expiration Robot Pro, I think it's called. So there's a couple of different ways to make that happen. But there you go. Those are the email sequences. You saw how I did the main customer sequence. You saw how I did the prospect remarketing sequence. And this is an example of the of how you do a simple second chance offer mini sequence. The other mini sequences look virtually identical to this, just with their specific products in there. The thank you page gift offer sequence is the same as the it's a consumption based sequence. It's the same. You see now the type of emails that you write. And so there you have it. In this video update, I showed you how to set up the email sequences inside of Aweber. I showed you how to set up all the automation, meaning that link it to all the products inside of SamCart so that the right sequences are triggered, the right sequences are unsubscribed when somebody buys a particular product inside of SamCart, and I went through the different email sequences, the key emails for you of the key email sequences that make up the amplification autoresponder chain. And so there you have it. That is this video update. Now, in the next and final video update, I'm going to recap some of the major points that we covered and put a bow on this bad boy. And then we are going to wrap up the Look Over My Shoulder video series. And so I'll talk to you in the next video update.